For the record, I think what most people think about creativity is bullshit. Hi folks, my name's Chris Sulimay, and on this channel, I like to help people with career and personal development. If you like that kind of stuff, subscribe. If you don't. Over the years, I cannot count how many people I've heard say, I'm not creative. And if you're one of those people, in this video, I'll prove you wrong and give you some tools that you can use to relaunch your creativity muscle. And if you're someone who does consider yourself creative, stay with us because I guarantee you'll learn something that you can use and put in your creativity toolbox as well. Let's go. For the record, I grew up as a regular dude and entered a very creative industry as a young adult. I became a hairdresser, and a pretty darn good one if I do say so myself. And if I'm honest, I'm actually surprised where my greatest creative accomplishments came from throughout the journey, and how I've come to awaken creativity in my life and helped a lot of other people do the same. But first, a quick disclaimer. There are people out there that are naturally more creative than you. They might be able to paint or seem like they can easily throw together a funky outfit, only spending $5 at the thrift store. They might even design their own really cool tattoo or imagine a town before it's ever even been built. You get the picture. While all these are admirable qualities, creativity goes far beyond, well, how colorful one person is. I believe the act of creativity is hardwired in us through things like acquired taste, how we like our bedroom set up, and certainly in the areas of our lives where we find enjoyment and our general likes and dislikes. These are all subjective creative decisions. With that said, don't take my word on this. This is Dr. Munir Shuib, whose name I possibly just botched up, and who has done studies of creativity on thousands of people at the University of Malaysia. From their website, I pulled this quote. It can be taught, it can be learned and developed. There have been many studies and findings that have demonstrated that creativity can certainly be cultivated. And in my case, this is true, by the way. For instance, a study recently done in the Creativity Research Journal demonstrates that employees from a business organization in California who attended creativity training seminars were able to increase the rate of their new idea generation by 55%, which led to about $600,000 in new money to that organization. So what does all this mean? It means creativity can be learned. And as I like to say, the obvious root word of creativity is create, and that's a process. So the more time you spend engaged in an activity or a process where you're creating, the better you'll get at it. Dr. Shuib also identified the 5 traits that he believes can make a person more creative. But since this is my video, instead of calling them traits, I'm going to call them choices. I also paraphrase these a little, and so I'm going to give you some of my translation and share how you can use each of these choices to become more creative in your life. Number 1, become a risk taker. Now, this can mean so many things. It doesn't mean you have to risk your life, but it does mean you should be okay with knowing it might not work. Here's the good news. Most people become good at something through the years because of practice. So you didn't really see the risks that they took up front. I mean, you have to become willing to try new things and then continue trying. Number 2, dare to fail, which I call redefine failure. Now, what is failure? Something you tried before and didn't work? Or the first 100 times? So what? What's the goal? Is your goal to become like Sarah Blakely, who invented Spanx? Well, if you look at her journey, it took her years of focus and effort to create her real breakthrough product. So was she creative? Yes, but she had to be willing to fail and go all in doing it. I heard her in an interview once say that at family dinners in her household, her dad would ask the kids, how many failures did you have this week? Because he knew in order to make progress, you have to have small failures along the way, and some big ones. Number 3, be willing to be different. Now, stop worrying about what other people think. And yes, I know we all do it to a point, but you've got to really shut those voices down. I love the journey of Lady Gaga, who was bullied as a young person. Here's someone who's willing to be outrageous. And in the beginning of her career, I remember the media crucifying her, but it didn't matter. She stayed true to herself, and the rest of the world, well, we eventually tried to catch up. Honestly, you might be looking for a new idea at work or want to be more creative in just planning your next vacation. You've got to get into the process in order to birth new ideas. And by the way, Gaga, if you're watching, call me. Hey guys, I'm curious. Do you think creativity can be developed? Or do you think we're just stuck with what we have? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So next is choose to become divergent. What does this mean? This means to learn things from different angles. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that ideas come as the sum of many contributing factors. Much is gathered through experience that leads you to an answer without just knowing that answer at first. So you have to be willing to change your mind. And remember, we know almost nothing about this universe, about life, about our brains, about this world around us. So what makes you think changing your mind will hurt? I've found sometimes that changing your mind can feel almost like you're losing something, like an idea or a belief that you've been committed to for a long time. But this is what I want to encourage. In my experience, it's been in changing things that I've believed in the past is where all the personal growth comes from. So I want to really encourage you to try. A mentor of mine used to say, I love to try to uncover places and discover places where I was wrong because this gives me the opportunity to grow. So again, as I shared in the beginning of this video, creativity is a process. It's about showing up and doing things over and over and over again, and then learning to see what works, what doesn't work, evaluating that, and then making a change. Over time, new ideas will present themselves, and you will be amazed by the progress that you can make. So if there's something you've been wanting to try, maybe it's music, maybe it's you want to learn to paint or draw or make YouTube videos or something else, I want to encourage you, if you've been putting it off because you think you don't have what it takes, it's in there. You just have to take a step forward, get started, be willing to fail, be willing to be wrong and change, and I know you got this. So that's a wrap for this one. If you like this topic, be sure and give it a like, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a new video when I post every Friday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.